Welcome to the Eagle's Nest Mentorship Forum, where we reflect, we resolve, and we retain that which we hear from these kind of conversations that we are having. And this is the 21st century marriage conversation with me, yours truly, Steve Ombuko. It's been a while, and we are back here again with amazing couples just to discuss various things that affected their dating life, and how they have come up all the way from their dating. Now they are married, and I believe utafurahia hii story. I'm so sure this is going to be a very interesting story. It's going to be a very inspiring, transformative to you as an individual, as a single person who is in your dating life or who you're planning to date, or to you who is in marriage and you're just looking for advice that contributes to your marriage. And let me take this chance just to invite anyone. If you know of a couple, or if you know anyone who has a story that will inspire somebody somewhere just to be transformed in their marriage, to transform in their lives, please make sure you write to us. There's a number right there below the screen. Please make sure you WhatsApp us. We'll be glad just to reach out to this person or to reach out to you and bring you on set and share your story that will be able to change somebody's life in matters regarding dating, or somebody's life in matters regarding marriage. But for now, mchungaji anaongea mpaka kesho. For now, I have this amazing couple and I want to introduce them, and here they are. Karibuni watu wangu.
Asante sana.
Welcome to this wonderful show,
Yes.
Or this wonderful conversation, actually. This is the 21st marriage conversations. We just began this so that we're able to inspire marriages somewhere in this 21st. And because 21st, it has so many challenges here and there.
True.
But I believe with your story you guys are going to share with us and how you're going to engage us, I'm sure somebody somewhere will be inspired.
Yes.
Unajua nasemaga, sometimes by the way you never know who inspires. Those people who you talk to every day, you think, today I've inspired 10 people, got to say 10 people. Sometimes people watch you. Thank God COVID that our scope now is larger. So imagine you're speaking to the international viewers, to the international viewers. Somebody is watching you from Moscow.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Please, if you're watching us from wherever you're watching us, we are glad that you've chosen just to be part of us this wonderful time, even as we have this amazing conversation. So, with me, as I said, this amazing couple, so they will introduce themselves and tell us their name, and then we'll keep on this conversation going. So, they say ladies first, but men just before. So I don't know who introduces who in this one.
Okay, I think I'll go first. My name is Kennedy Bahati.
Kennedy Bahati.
But Kali is what my wife is called after. So this is now my wife, and now she can introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Wamboi K. Bahati, and I'm glad to be here.
So the K is Kali.
Kali.
Yeah. I thought the Kali is the one. So I was like, okay. Kali is not your real name.
Yes, my
Bahati is your family.
Is our family name.
But easier to call you Bahati than
Yes.
So, karibu.
Kali.
Sorry. Karibu sana, Wambo and Baha.
Shukran.
No, some of them is we call him Baha. We can't call you Baha. Tukuzoea Wambo and Baha. Karibu sana. I'm glad that you guys are here and agree to come and just to share your story and just to inspire us, and perhaps even by the way, sometimes we don't share a story for the sake of other people. Sometimes actually we share our story to challenge yourselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because sometimes you share your story and then when you walk outside there, you're like, hey, I have to live up to what I'm saying. I have to live to what I'm saying. So that people say, wait, don't preach water while you drink.
You're drinking.
Anyway, yes, so guys, so tell us more about you, like yourself, what you do, like Baha and what have you, and of course our lovely lady on set, the only lady. Imagine this set, ladies are the only one who end up being the only one on this set. So please just just a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm a trainer, but basically I dwell on Bible training. And there's a ministry known as Christos Ministries International. K.
Christos
for
with
Christ.
K.
Yes, not.
Oh.
There's another ministry almost sounding similar.
Naona ndio nashika kwa century. Simes Kristo ya si K.
Christos. Yes, so Christos.
Yes.
Swahili.
Yeah, Swahili.
Christos Ministries International. And that's where I work mainly. I'm the senior pastor there for now. And it's a lovely thing to see people being transformed. We have one daughter in our family. And basically that is what I can say in a nutshell.
Yes.
Now I want to hand it over to my girl over here.
Your girl.
Your big girl.
Your big girl. Oh, but then there's a small girl, then there's a big girl. Okay.
They're all girls.
They're all babes. Okay.
Yeah, so for me, I support him in ministry, and also my background is in project management. That is what I do for a living.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. So this guy is your project.
Yeah, who are the projects?
This is your project. My friend, you're being managed. Huko najua wewe mtu ameenda shule kusoma ulioa project manager. But then actually everything is a project. So actually your family is a project, you are a project. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, so guys, you guys have been married, and of course you're here because you're married. Naona pakata mmevaa nguo zina match. Na leo naona ni tulikuwa spirit. Naona spirit. Naona mmematch amazing couple. And the color of royalty. Ndio sasa.
Exactly.
It's still a royal man. So guys, you guys have been married for how long now?
4 years. This is our 5th year.
You're doing 5th year.
Yes.
Oh, amazing. 5 years.
Yeah.
Amazing. Awesome. When did your anniversary?
April 8th.
April 8th. So it's Peter. So actually you're in the 5th year.
Yes, 5th
actually you're doing your 5th year. Amazing. 5 years of marriage, 5 years with a daughter. What's her name?
She's called Kara Kalia.
Kara Kalia. As in kind of K's and
Actually,
Christos Kalia.
That one is a C.
That's one is a C.
Kara. And then Kalia. Chara. Kalia. Callia. And then Kali. Kara Kalia Kali.
Those names, at least somebody has found a tip of their names. But if you're looking for more names, he's a consultant here. He also does consultancy. He also does consultancy for baby names. And so 5 years of doing marriage, amazing. We'll be coming just to know how you guys have done the 5 years, because there's somebody who have done 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and perhaps some even have done 10 years. But I believe your 5 years of marriage has something for us to learn, has something for us to engage. But just before we talk much more of your marriage and that has been, it's good we start from the beginning. In the beginning, there was a man called Bahati who never knew a boy.
That's true.
And on the first day, yours was not 7 days, but whatever it is. So guys, I just want to know, how did you guys meet? How did you guys date, your life, and what have you? So I will start from, how did you guys meet? I mean, mlutania wapi?
I think since I'm the one who threw the vibes, wacha nianze before even the approach. I joined campus, Daystar University, and along the way, the second year, there were elections for Christian Fellowship.
Oh yeah,
Daystar Christian Fellowship.
Yes.
And so I was fronted there, and before that, now there was some small responsibilities that were there in the union, and that's how we met with her through a friend. We had a mutual friend.
Ulikuwa through pass. Was it a through pass?
It wasn't a through pass. Actually, what happened is it was my birthday.
Oh,
and then my friend came to wish me a happy birthday. So
was this friend of a guy or was it a lady?
It was a lady actually.
Okay, my friend.
Actually, she was the student counselor at Daystar. Because we shared a lot in common when we were sharing, knowing how to help the students and all that. So she happened to just come in and wish me a happy birthday, and she introduced me to Wamboi.
Okay, and you had not seen her or monanga too?
I think that's the first time I saw her.
Okay.
Kupitana, maybe tumepitana mara mingi.
And the eyes saw.
But for her case, she was coming back to do her postgrad. She had just finished her undergrad, so she was coming in just to find out how she can begin the next step. So I think it was in those first moments when now with her friend in the office and all that we interacted now. And after that, again, coming downstairs, that's when now the formal conversations came in. But now the approach was a bit different. I didn't know that I was going to marry her, but nikamwambia we have a mission coming up. Do you love to tag along? And she was like, yeah, it's okay, no problem. Tomorrow, yes, it's okay, we'll go. And that's how the journey began.
She was going to our own mission. That was the mission.
Yes. So that is Bahati's perspective. No, she can.
Yeah, I always know. They always say there are different versions, but you can trust much more the ladies' version than the man's version. But my friend, it seems something happened in Desta. I think you said new in Desta, but the Desta was serious. You must go for those fellowships. So please, you might just be going there and meeting your husband or meeting your wife. Let's hear this version, Wambo's version.
It's good you realize there's a danger in a one-sided story.
Yeah, let's get both sides story. Yes.
Yeah, so we met in Desta, Tick. Yeah, so I had completed my undergraduate, and for some reason I had a very difficult time in my transition. I didn't want to let go of school and enjoy hanging around school.
People want to leave school, you want to stay in school.
Imagine, so during that time, the reason why I was so attached to school, I think I had at that time decided to just be more active in my Christian walk, to kuendelea with
focusing
ministry.
Jesus, yes.
So and during that time is when I think he joined Desta, and he'd conduct Bible studies in school. So he happened to be a friend to a very close friend of mine, and I think that way I nilikuwa easy with him. I could relate with him easily, so tunaenda, he gives us roles in BS, so that's where we started. And then after that, I started inviting me for missions.
So he's inviting you for missions?
Yeah.
You're at the mission ground.
So he started inviting me for missions, and at that time I was so ready to do ministry. Just wanted to make an impact. I realized that I was passionate about doing missions at that particular time. So we started hanging around doing ministry together at that point. And in 2015, that's when I decided now I needed to go back to school instead of just wasting time.
Wait, just a moment there. So you say you are cleared, and of course you're struggling to clear. So you're just hanging around school, going for missions and what have you, Bible study, conversation. Ulikuwa unaishi wapi shule?
At my folks.
So you live at your folks, come to school?
No, I come to school. I learn my guitar.
The timing of the Lord. The ways of the Lord.
So in 2015 I decided to go back to campus and pursue my master's. So and that's when we were given the role. He became the chairperson in a Christian fellowship, and I was the vice. So tukaserve pamoja for 1 year, and then you can continue from there.
Of course. Now, during our serving together, as a single person, you are trusting God that one day you'll settle down.
Yes.
And most of the time in prayer, you find, Lord, who is this woman that you'll want me to marry? That crosses every man's mind before they get married and all that. So in the midst of the many potential ladies that were there, I ended up settling with her. And again, coming to the place of now trying to let her know that I would want to get something going with her was another journey, because again she had an attachment somewhere along Hurlingham. She was working there, so I'd tell her, hey, I would like to meet you. And again, tukikutana nasikia ama tu ningoje kidogo, but for her she's already suspicious.
Yes, you are advancing.
Being mushy.
Ladies always know. I don't know why. Ladies just somehow, and that's okay. This is my philosophy sometimes.
Yes.
I think if a lady will tell you no today, it's not that tomorrow it will change. That no will remain. If it's a yes, it's not like they'll change. They always know from the word start.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's true. So I met her. I met with her the first day. But remember, we ended up finding out that I was living 500 meters away from where she was staying with her folks. So again, something built up there, because every time we'll go to school, we'll tag along together, you know, and get to discuss and talk more and more and more. But again, now when you want to get it from the friendship side of it and to this other side of it, you need to be careful.
You were just a friend.
Yeah, we were friends, and again we'll talk about so many things and share life together and all that. So that day I went to her office and I was just there. We are just talking about general stories, and I'm like, what if I'm not right? What if I'm wrong? Should I say it now? Should I not say it? I just brushed it off. But on her side again, she came later to say that she suspected something was going on. So I think after I came from another engagement towards the eastern side, that is when I decided now to, you know, call a spade a spade. So we were coming from school. Remember, we are living 500 meters apart.
Yes.
And I said, if I don't do it now, never again, you know. And that's when I threw in that news. And I thank God it ended up great. I never really had a hard time. Let me just put it a bit of spiritual. The Lord had parted.
The Lord made a way. He made a way for you.
There was no way. Yeah. So.
But let me ask. Just before you. Okay. Of course, the question is why Wambo, and of course perhaps because also you contributing. Why Baha? But just before you made that decision, were you a bit were there people around that? Were you confused? Did you have some around? So how did you
single out?
How did you single out these people? Were you confused?
Now I'll say this. I'll not call it confusion. I'll call it being decisive. Because choices have consequences at the end of the day. And I will not lie to anyone that probably you will not look at another lady and say, that one can make a good wife. But then again, you see another one, you say, that one can make a good wife. That's why probably we take time.
Yes.
And again, engage God in prayer and ask God, help me to make the right decision. You know, even if it means in His own ways, direct me, let my heart be directed to the right person. If my heart is not or my emotions are confused, help me just to have peace with the direction.
Are there ladies who claim that they were girlfriends without you knowing that you are in a relationship?
No. In my case, I think because of the boundaries that I've learned to make, not because I grew up that way. I'll be very honest with you. I don't come from a pastor's family. I come from a family where, yes, my mom was a strong believer and all that. Yes. My dad was still coming up, and I thank God for him and all that, you know. And I have a dark past. I was a drunkard. I was an alcoholic. You know. All these things. I was there. Before you get to the place where you say until now you are the CU chairman, and there's a journey behind that.
Wow.
And of course, there's something called process in, process out.
Yes.
And sometimes what you went through in the past tends to cloud some of these decisions, because you're like, I want this kind of a girl who fits this kind of criteria, and sometimes you meet them. The problem is that the criteria that you're using may not measure with the standard that we're using as believers. So what do? You just sometimes you find others, they meet all the criteria, but again, in your heart you just feel.
And is it true to say, actually, in the midst of, like, you guys were in Christian, for Christian fellowship, more or less Christian union in high school. In the midst of that, there's some people also who are born again. True. But clearly, when you look at them, you're thinking,
it's true.
So actually, in the midst of people, even those who think brothers and sisters and Christians born again, demon chasing or whatever, actually can be focused inside them.
Yeah, true. And some may be genuinely born again, but you just feel your heart is not drawn towards that.
So in other words, I know you have built on you. We're coming. So yes, I want to get these things so that the guys who are watching can really get to understand this, especially those who are born again. They need to get this very clear.
True.
So because you've said sometimes actually there are those who are born again. It doesn't necessarily mean sometimes because you think you don't want to hurt somebody or you don't want to make them feel bad. So sometimes you feel ashamed, but really, Man, we are born again, but this thing is not about
Exactly.
ati sasa jimeokoka siwezi hadu them.
Yeah, true.
Ni kumchuja tu na.
Yeah, it's true. You have to do that.
Oh, amazing.
So, yeah.
So before you tell us why you Wambo, want to skip story.
Yes.
Yes.
Wambo, tell us.
So for me, I had other people. Yeah, so
Kulikuwa na watu. Na niko sure wewe.
I got
Hii brown skin lazima ilikuwa na line foleni.
yeah, I got into dilemmas. So I went through all that that a young girl who is looking out for someone to marry her goes through. Yeah, so for me, I was in before we dated, I had been in a relationship for almost 7 years.
Wait, 7 years. Investor in people.
Yeah. So 7 years in another relationship that eventually didn't work out.
Wow.
Yeah. So after that, I really desired to make the right decision. So, but in the process, I found myself almost very confused. I was chasing after prophets, nisikie what the Lord is saying, hoping that ataongea about this is the man who is going to marry you. I tried doing, what do you call it, a write-up on my closet, asking God, please write for me.
Oh,
tell me
God account kwa wall andika hapo ile jina wewe useme. I wish God was doing that.
It stayed there for, I think, even when I go back home, I see that
No,
card.
I think you wrote on a wrong one. Ukienda kwa Wailing Wall of Jerusalem. Unaandika hapo hivi, unaona kikujibu.
Yeah, so until the Lord spoke to me and he told me, Wambui, you're expecting me to speak to your physical ears. But for me, I'll speak to you through your inner ears. Yeah, so I decided to just go rub it off and trust him. Yeah. So after that, that's when was that? That was 2016. We started dating around July 2016. So that's when he started making his moves. Naanza kuja job and being moshi.
Anajua maua. Today you guys want to drop you at the place of work.
Today I want us to just do a road drive. So I realized maybe kuna venye hapa. So I went and prayed about it when I started seeing the signs that he was what he was pulling up. Yeah, so I prayed about it and I felt so much peace.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's when I decided to.
There's someone actually who's watching and is wondering, because I know this has been a very conversation that people have actually in Christian circles most times. You said you prayed and you had peace, and perhaps you also answer this question to it. How did you? Because I think that's it. How did you say actually it's Baha? Because could I your prayer where you had peace and everything? Someone still want to find out how do you have that peace? What makes you in your spiritual person to have that peace? Because sometimes someone will say, I prayed about this guy, I had peace about this guy, and then see my life now. It didn't work, it didn't work. So probably, how do you have that peace, or how do you define that peace? And why Baha? Why him out of
The
many? You had cast your net among the many waters.
Yeah, so one, I believe that we were equally yoked. The Bible says that we should not be unequally yoked. Yeah. So in terms of our belief, he was born again. Okay, he's born again. He was born again even then. And then
is he still born again?
Born again, so we should look at
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Best person to say that.
100%.
Yeah, so he was born again, spirit-led, spirit-filled, teaching the word. And I think there's a pastor that I used to admire then a lot, and I used to listen to him a lot, called Joseph Prince. So I think I'd see him, I'd see him in him. You see? So and then
So you made.
So I at least he had met the bare minimums, and that was on his Christian walk.
Okay.
Yeah, so then after praying, I was okay with that decision. So I decided to persuade.
Why you are more, apart from all kind of other beautiful Daystar students who have come to master, to do masters?
Now, my decision was not informed on her being perfect. And I think that is something that I chose to have an understanding for a very long time. Because if I had that in mind, disappointments would follow next. Because if this is what you expected from her and then you're not getting it, you had the peace, but then the peace tends not to agree with what you're saying. And I believe there are relationships which break up, not because it wasn't meant to be, but because people are looking for the perfect person who is Christ, but they're not giving an allowance or room for this other person to grow. So on her side, I think I saw a free-spirited lady, a lady who is willing to grow, a lady who is willing to understand and reason at the same time, a lady who we've spent time together. She knows what I'm doing. I'm not struggling to communicate probably my goals or the dreams that I have. I've had her dreams and goals. So I thought this one can work. And again, the peace that I just had in my heart that, hey, it's a decision that I had to, this decision needed to sink in the peace and then run with it. So it was a decision that was informed by peace but also time spent with her. But huko mbele hatuko tunajua ni nini zitakuja. So the peace that I had was going to keep me. Huko mbele that this was the decision I made.
And of course I'm sure this good looking lovely lady kama mwanaume mimi najua.
But good looking doesn't mean without issues.
Najua vile uliona ukasema
okay, now if that is what you're going to, she's beautiful. Who will not want to marry a beautiful person? Everyone
want to marry a beautiful girl.